Aquarius, welcome to your Celtic Cross reading. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. Let's jump on into it. Show me, Aquarius, what is going on, please, for the Aquarian Collective. Show me. Aquarius, what's going on? Show me, Aquarius. Like always, these are general or collective readings, which is to say, take what resonates, leave what does not. Okay? Very rarely does someone fully 100% resonate with the message. Very rarely is it 0%. Most people are somewhere in between. Regardless, know what resonates, take it with you, see what you can do with it, and leave the stuff that does not. That's it. All right, Six of Wands, Dead Center reading, challenging, Ace of Pentacles, to take an opportunity or not. We have overall feel-good energy, almost playful, very light, fast-moving. Oh, yeah. Okay, Queen of Wands in the relevant past. All right. What's exiting? The need to hold on to something. Three of Swords is in your upcoming. That's quite the bridge. Unresolved pain here. That's okay. In the process of letting things go. Sometimes we still have residual pain. That's all right. Strength, the Nine of Cups, is that you are willing to be satisfied, fulfill wishes of your own personal desires and sense of self. Okay? All right. And your environment is changing as we speak with the Wheel of Fortune, hopes and dreams. Hopes and fears, Page of Wands, to open up or not. I know, I think that's been with you. Four of Swords. You're still healing in many respects, but you are becoming, energetically speaking, restless. So while there is stuff here that you are working through and still lingers with you, the bigger part of you is trying to pick up the ball and get your energy moving in a particular direction. It has the suggestive notes of new, the potential of possibilities of exploring other things. But there's still some cleanup to be done. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Six of Wands, overall sense of confidence. Okay. Work well done. Visibility to see and be seen. Recognition, accolades, possibly pride, but we shall see. Show me that Six of Wands, please. Show me that Six of Wands. Show me that Six of Wands. That is so bizarre. I just heard Estranged by Guns N' Roses. And you don't talk so loud and you don't walk so proud anymore. I don't know why. That's confirmation for some of you. There you go. Show me that Six of Wands, please. And you don't talk so loud and you don't walk so proud anymore. And we're four. That's great. Brilliant. Show me that Six of Wands, please. Show me that Six of Wands, please. Show me that Six of Wands. What's going on? Show me that Six of Wands, please. Two of Cups, Four of Cups, the Hanged Man. I know that's a kind of recognition in here. There's a kind of recognition in here that, yeah, there's love. I have love. But I've been disappointed by it many times. It's like Aquarius is like, I'm not unfamiliar with the subject. I'm not trying to laugh at that. I'm not. It's kind of like, I've done that before. I've felt that before. I know you have. And the Hanged Man, it's kind of like, it's not that you don't want love. It's not that it's not with you. Okay? The want to find a cup that fits you, to harmonize, to equalize, right? You know, this is between you and I. These are our intimate selves, and we share them with each other. But it's kind of like, but Four Cups. I've been through it. I'm disappointed in love. I understand that sometimes I'm the common denominator. I find myself in emotional relationships that seem to rack up the same way. And because of that, you're saying Hanged Man. It's not that I've lost my desire for love and emotional equilibrium, if you will. It's just, there's a time where it became less important, you know. And you've kind of gone through a period of focusing on just feeling really good. Resplendent, kind of getting your joy back, your sense of confidence back. And it's kind of like, I kind of just want to feel resplendent in my own way and feel good and get my confidence back on point. And sometimes it just, you have found, and I don't know where this is coming from, but energetically speaking, you have found it for some reason satisfying lately to just be seen. And for some of you, that's been good enough. To just be seen. To just revel in your own particular positive energies. And that feel-good energy of being noticed. And for some of you, that's been enough. I'm not saying, like I said, the Aquarius I'm looking at is completely dismissed love and eschewed love and F off all love, the cynicism and the jadedness. No, you could lean that way. I see that you've been through enough of the emotional stuff like that to lean that way if you wanted to. You're just saying, I'm just not in a rush right now to find that particular cup. I've been feeling pretty good about me, and I'm just not in an anxious place to throw myself back into an emotional relationship right now. It's just kind of enough for me to be seen. And I kind of understand that. Take your time. You know, sometimes it feels good just to be you. Not necessarily in context with someone else. If you can't be good on your own or feel good about you on your own, you're not going to be with someone else, right? And so it's kind of like hangman. That's a hangman job. Just hang that. You know, it's not a priority right now. I think some of you are just still coming out of this place of the emotional jerk circle, which is what I call it, 4 cups. You've been disappointed in love enough times, you're going to start to anticipate it as being a normative or expected. And that's not the case, but that's who we connect with over and over again. And we don't want to do that. You're trying to break the pattern, I think, and just take time away from it. So there is a love energy here that represents, it looks like a fresh disappointment, and you kind of hung the whole situation, and it's kind of like, I just want to feel good in my own particular energy. I don't know if it's a little cocky, a little sensational, look at me. I think it's more like, I just don't want to feel like that right now, you know? I'm interested. This is curious. It's very curious. Ace of Pentacles is challenging you, an opportunity taken or not taken. The opportunity to give more or not. I don't know. Let's take a look. Show me the Ace of Pentacles, please. 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 I don't know if that emotional disappointment that you've experienced has affected you so much that you can't deepen any current relationships you have. It might be easier for you to hang out closer to the surface. That's a possibility as well. I don't know. It just, the Knight of Wands, see, the energy's with you. Page of Pentacles and Temperance. I get it. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. I think you want to get close to the feeling of love, but you don't really want to fully participate in it this time. I think you just have, for some reason, this hitting me so weird. It's like you have too many current and or fresh reminders of disappointments. Just can't seem to balance with the right person. You try, but the balance is never there. It's like someone's always more emotionally invested than the other person. You or them, it never seems to be the right place or the right time for the right kind of emotional equilibrium. Like I said, this intimacy is between you and I want to develop it. You're telling me you're not interested in developing it. You want to get close to the surface of it. You do. It's like maybe if I start hanging around the right cup, I'll be inspired to give more to it, just not right now. I'm not trying to go out of my way to force relationships or to deep dive into them right away. I'm not in that spirit, man. I'm not in that mind, and I'm not in that vein. It's kind of like if I get close enough to a cup and I start to get attached to it and it's time to take it further, I will. But a part of you is hanging back. You're not going full tilt. You're not going crazy about relationships. Oh, Lord, I need a man. Oh, Lord, I need a woman right now. It's like you're not doing that. You're somewhere in this space of I have good energy. And you do. You've shown it to me a couple times. Knight of Wands is twice. You do have a playful side. You have a light side. You have a boom, boom. Okay, so that's that energy, that Knight of Wands. Now, I know what you're used to seeing in tarot and on YouTube. No, Knight of Wands is just all about sex. It's the player energy. It can be, but that's a minor interpretation. I pull the Knight of Wands on me all the time when I do read myself, which isn't often, but when I do, I always have the Knight of Wands because that's naturally how I am. I'm naturally very energetic. I am a high energy person, and I don't like to be idle. I'm out all the time doing things because it feels good. It feels good to me. So some of you just have that really high energy phase as well, and it's with you constantly. You like to be excited. You like to be inspired. Some of you are very artistic, or you really like to go with flow. Okay? And then some of you, yeah, you might have a very strong passionate side to you as well. It's kind of like, I'd rather that guide me. Some of you, I feel like that's where you are. I want my excitement to guide me. I want the passion to guide me. I want my freer form, my excited form to guide me. And if I get closer and closer to a cup, great. Maybe I'll put more of myself into it if it's harmonizing with me. But if it's not, I'm not going to force the issue. I will move my energy on. See what I'm saying? So I think, like I said, love's not completely off the table, right? But stressing about a full-on relationship's not on the table either. You're somewhere in between, okay? It's like, if I get close to love, cool. I'll take it from there. But if not, I ain't stressed about it. I'm gonna go where I'm gonna go where God takes me. Except it's like, I'm gonna go where my passion takes me, yeah? So it's kind of like that. You have a very strong intensity in you, that it's much more freer, fluid, than someone I've seen in a long time. And you also have a patience around you. Again, the idea is not rushed. I gotta go where my own sense of freedom and energy takes me. I don't want to be rushed. I still have work to do in me with temperance, and I need to show myself patience, and I need to show myself healing, and I need to show myself time. I don't want to lock down into anything. You've had too many disappointments. So it's like, if I get close to love and it feels right, I'll put more of myself into it. Otherwise, I'm not stressed about it. It's actually incredibly straightforward, also non-specific. I apologize. Sometimes it is vague. That means it's probably applying to many of you at the same time. Let's get cracking. Some of that Knight of Wands, it's influencing, is with you all day. All right, this is the one energy drink I do allow myself to have. It's the only one I actually like. It does a good job. I actually do like this quite a bit. It does well for me, especially when I need a little extra help. You know, it's, oh honey, I've been we did not sleep so well last night. Show me that Knight of Wands, please. Show me that Knight of Wands. I just need a little extra oomph. Otherwise, my Knight of Wands is typically on point. Show me that Knight of Wands, please. The influencing, the energies that's with you all day, influencing you, and I see that. It was in your opening as well. Show me that Knight of Wands, please. Show me that Knight of Wands. Show me that Knight of Wands. I like that. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. I'll edge in there, you know. I'll edge close to love, and if it feels right, I'll put more of myself into it. Otherwise, I'm not going to fully launch into an investment. I understand. It's like, I'm too old for that shit. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that, you know? Nine of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords. Oh my God. What is that? What is that? Yeah, that's just something here that you got away from it. It's with you. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel correct to you. It was something that you had to block. It was a breaking from, or Seven of Swords. You're like, I'm not dealing with it. There is something here that came close to requiring you to be frustrated by it, to break from it, and you're like, I'm not going to deal with it at all. You moved your energy forward. I don't know quite what that is, but it's kind of like, if it blocks me, I'm not going to do it. If it's going to abandon me, I'm not going to get close to it. I'm just going to exit that situation. It's kind of like, it's not worth the frustration. So I don't know where that's coming from. It is a bit harsh, but it's looking like very recently you moved your energy on from something that had the possibility of hurting you or exhausting you, and it's kind of like, I just don't want to get involved. And I don't know what that is. There's no really pretty way to address the Seven and Five of Swords, okay? So it's not a judgment on my part. Tarot is tarot. The good stuff is, it has nothing to do with me and my personal judgment, guys. I read the cards. So when I'm describing, I don't want you to take offense by it. All right? Pause it, watch it later, or don't watch it at all. I just know that you're kind of avoiding the plague when it comes to any sort of difficulties. If it's too hard, it's gone. If it requires a sense of abandonment or breakage, it's gone. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to deal with it. There's this huge emphasis on, I'm going to follow positive feeling. And you don't want to get caught up in any drama or hardship that you are not personally, emotionally tied to. I think the idea is that you're trying to keep yourself clear from stuff that is like, this requires too much emotional investment. and it's not the right kind, you know. I just don't see you in a place where you can commit yourself to anything that might be too difficult, problematic, or requires you to have a deeper investment than you're ready to give. You're like, I won't. I'm going to dodge that like a bullet. I'm going to sidestep any of that stuff. You're saying, I don't want difficulty. I just don't want difficulty. You're like, I got to go with the positivity of my own particular energies, and I want to keep them that way. So you're just not in a place where you can give too much substance to stuff. I mean, that's just part of the healing stuff. It is. You're trying to abide by the best levels of positivity that you have for yourself. Your energy, its movement, and its particular flow. If you're not in a place where you can handle hardships and arguing, and this might happen or that might happen because you're not emotionally invested and you know you're not, okay, too many disappointments, and you're still sorting through your own stuff in terms of healing and trying to move yourself forward, yeah, you're not going to want to get caught up in drama. You're not going to want to get caught up in potential hurts and harms. You're going to avoid those. I see you avoiding hurts and harms like the plague. I just want to make sure it's not coming from a place of fear of abandonment. Like, I refuse to properly emotionally attach to you because I'm afraid you'll hurt me later. I think I'm looking at an Aquarius who's had a couple of those already. Emotional disappointments that's why you're not really engaging in love. You kind of feel the pull towards it, but not so much to win you over at this time. So it's like, I don't want to engage in anything that could represent blockage, disappointment, hurt, or exhaustion. I'm still recovering from the shit that's already happened. Okay? So it's not a judgment call on my part. I just see you're like, if it's that level, Christina, I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't. And if that's where you are, that's where you are. Yeah, and I kind of agree with you. You really shouldn't fight for anything more than you're already committed to. You know what I mean? So if that's not where you are, then that's not where you are. And I know it's so terribly vague and it is very overarching. I know. I'm sorry. But that's just what I'm saying for you today. Okay? There are times when you must stand your ground and fight for something. But it's kind of like, if I'm not in love with this and I'm not investing in it and I know it, why the hell would I stick around for that kind of hurt, drama, or disappointment? Okay? I think it's a fair point. You're like, I'm just trying to follow the good vibes, man. Cool. All right? You still got stuff you're sorting through, that you're still healing. You're not in a place where you can handle direct, I believe, confrontation of difficult subjects. It's kind of like, keep that energy moving forward. I ain't trying to deal with that shit. I'm not trying to deal with it. And you're also not trying to deal with other people's blockages and their hang-ups and bullshit. You're like, my stuff is enough. So it's like, my stuff is enough. I'm already my own basket case. I don't need to deal with your shit either. So it's kind of like that. I just see you as a place of hands off, man. I'm neutral. Just let me go my own flow. I won't bother you if you don't bother me. It's kind of like that. Queen of Wands in the relevant past. I mean, I can tell that your energy is very important to you. Your creativity is very important to you. Your sense of passion and drive is very important to you. It's with you at all times. You know, you might be one of those people who, I'm strongly suspecting this, it feels this way, that you stood up for too many other people's causes except your own. And that's why you get hurt a lot. You fight other people's fights and you're like, I gotta stop doing that. So it's not just love, but fighting for the wrong people, places, situations, circumstances, love. And it takes a toll on you, I think, is the Aquarius that I'm looking at. And it's kind of like that, because you're saying, my energy's for my exclusive use right now. I don't have room to give anyone anything else with any more substance. Because you're telling me I can't be fighting anymore, I can't be handling breaks anymore, I can't be handling the fucking drama anymore. So it kind of tells me, do you get overly involved in other people's shit, or do you stand up for the wrong people? Do you invest in the wrong people and then you feel like you got to stand up for them anyway? That whole thing. I mean, you know, that's a lot of that's a lot of not my circus, not my monkeys. That's a whole I just don't see you doing it, babe. I just don't see you doing it. You might be burnt out. Yeah, it could do. Yeah, lots. Oh, Yeah, lots of waiting. Too much waiting, I see. In the relevant past, you showed a lot of energy, passion, dedication towards some sort of relationship that you always felt that you were on standby for. Is that what happened? It's relevant past, which means this is what happened in the past, and this is how it's kind of affecting you today, or it has a key role in what's affecting you today. I got lots of waiting, honey. That's too much waiting, even for me. I don't like that. Queen of Wands. Like I said, all that fire's in you. I could tell your intensity is important to you. Creativity, your passion, your drive is important to you. And I clarify that further. I got 2 and 3 of Wands. It's one thing to wait a little bit because you have to, but you know it's worth waiting for. This says, I'm forever looking for a relationship. And all your best energy was used towards that. What the expectation of that relationship was supposed to be, I don't know. I just know you were standing there looking for it for a long time. Something that would not come together. And you kept looking at it, and you kept looking at it, and you're like, this is mine. I just feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. It's going to come to me. It's going to come to me. It's all going to make sense. This relationship, possibly a marriage, it's always at arm's length for me. But that's okay. I, too, know what's worth waiting for, Christina. And then you get really tired doing this. And that arm starts to get real heavy. Kind of like that. Is that where all the exhaustion's coming from? Waiting too long for that relationship to make sense, for it to be cohesive, to have meaning, to have depth. Because you were like, I'm all gung-ho. I say, that's what good passion's for, honey. I know what I want. I feel it. I burn for it. And I'm gonna blaze that fucking trail to get there. So you were blazing trail for some sort of relationship in the past, and it's always at arm's length. And your arm got really tired. So that would explain a lot, I think, what we're looking at today. At least for the Aquarius I'm looking at today. Use all that fire and passion for I don't know how long, waiting for some sort of relationship or the expectation of it. And all you got was a bunch of emotional disappointments and upsets and upheaval. So like I said, I think you're skating on the surface of love. In other words, you're not closed off to it. And you have energy for that. You have energy to be seen. You have energy to feel good, which is good. You have energy to show movement and enthusiasm. And it's like, if I get close to a cup, great. But I don't want to enter anything that's going to require fighting or disappointment. I just don't want to. Yeah, you burnt out, honey. You're still healing. You're still healing. And I think you're in that you're in the early stages, I believe, of recovering. Enthusiasm to get out the door and participate in life, but not so recovered that you're like, you? Maybe you? It's kind of, we're not there yet. No, we're not there yet. I think you're still in the you've just started to feel good or better about you phases. Okay. Yeah, that's way too much waiting, honey. That's way too much waiting. I don't know if it was a long distance relationship that you were gung-ho about for a long time, but it's like that relationship, whatever it was passionate, you were turned on for it, but for some reason it was always out of your reach. And you kept that hand out for a long time, and you got burnt out. It looks like. 4 of Pentacles is on the exit. That's good. That means whatever it is that you were holding on to, you're starting to let go of. Like I said, early stages of recovery. Okay. Let's see that 4 of Pentacles. Let's see what you was holding on to so tightly. It's 2 of Swords, King of Cups. Yeah, I got it. I got it. You weren't certain that it was a brand new beginning, but you had love for it. Big heart space for it, whatever that was. It confused you. It did. because you couldn't quite tell if it was a new opportunity or not, or a renewal in love, but you took it very seriously. Okay. And you held on to it for a long time. And with a really full heart, I believe. That King of Cups there. Okay. The boldest of the hearts, the biggest of the hearts. And you held on to this for a long time. It's like you couldn't quite tell if it was love, but you wanted it to be. You felt it. So that's why you held on, and I think that's why you did this as long as you could. I think you believed it marked a brand new beginning for you, or a renewal of energy that you had with someone. I don't know. I can't see them. Not really. Just the impression of what you did to try to keep them. Okay? And that the exhaustion that it led up to. So I kind of see why you held on to it tightly. It was either a brand new beginning in love that you felt but they didn't, or it was the promise of the renewal between you and somebody that you still had a very large heart for, but perhaps they didn't. Either way, whoever it is that was holding on the most is the one that's now letting go. No more waiting. Okay? No more waiting. I know. And in that process of letting go, we still have pain. Like I said, you're at the early stages of recovery. Nevertheless, are we? Yeah, okay, one more. Show me this Three of Swords, please. Show me that. Show me that Three of Swords, please. Show me that Three of Swords. Show me that Three of Swords. Ten of Cups, Two of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. The question is, yes, I heard Christina, will I ever really move on and find emotional substance? There it is. That's why we're still skimming close to the surface of love and we haven't completely abandoned it, we haven't completely eschewed it, is because you still believe in it, fundamentally. You still believe it and you still feel it. You still believe in the greater scheme of things that a Ten of Cups is possible. Emotional equilibrium with all parties who are there in the immediate household, family, friends, and then also personal home. Yeah, no, you still want that. You still desire that. And I think whatever it is you were last engaged with, whomever they are not important. It's you. That's who I'm reading today. You say, I don't know how to go about it, and I don't know if I ever will. It hurts so much. You know, I really thought that this Ten of Cups would fit, and I waited, and I had a huge heart space for it, and they made me believe I had something worth holding out for. I really felt that whatever this situation was, honey, it kept you at arm's length for a long time. So if you're out there and you're having fun and it's enough for you to just be seen and be heard and to have a smile on your silly face, then go ahead. Okay. I want you to just relax. And if your fire orientation is coming back, and I want to get out, I want to do this and that, but not necessarily that. Trust that. That's just where you are. That's where you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, early recovery. So whatever that relationship was, it kept you at arm's length, and it wasn't really a relationship. I think you loved it. I do. And you wanted it to love you back. I think you wanted it to solidify itself with you in some way that was measurable and made sense. And that's why I can kind of see your current energy is like nothing heavy. Nothing heavy. Nothing heavy. Dear God, nothing heavy. It's just enough for me to get out and be happy a little bit. And maybe you are pursuing your passionate side, right? That's normal. That happens a lot. It's usually the first indication, like I always said, given my background, counseling and psych, I can tell you after serious breakups like that, and even though time has passed, usually the first indication of healing is getting your passion out there and exploring a little bit, but not getting into anything serious. And I think that's all you're showing me. It's pretty normal. So back to here in your immediate future, yeah, you still feel the pain, but it's kind of like, will I ever invest or be able to invest in something that's long-term and that will be emotionally healthy and sustaining? The answer is yes. It's just taking you a while to get there. The Knight of Pentacles. What is keeping you from connecting with the right person? I don't know, because you've told me you've been through this before. And that's one of the things you need to unravel. So while you're out there having fun and your energy's feeling better, and I'm glad it is, it's one of the things you need to unravel. Is why do you keep connecting to the same person who keeps you at a distance? Why do you find yourself in a relationship where you find that you feel too much and them not enough, or it's the other way around? Why? Why does that keep happening? Because I can tell your response suggests you've been through it before and it's made you absolutely exhausted. Investing, and then you have nothing to show for it. That's something you're going to need to answer for yourself. Otherwise, yes, you will continue to repeat it. Okay? I don't want you to go through that again, and you don't either. So yeah, you have the potential to head towards a 10 of Cups, something that actually makes sense emotionally, and it's sane, and it's harmonious, and it's supportive and loving. But you still have healing to do, as everything here indicates. Something to think about for your future. Okay? The 9 of Cups is in your strengths. You are willing to try to achieve your sense of wish fulfillment. Personally, what it is that makes you happy, but more and above all, to love yourself. How you love yourself is a reflection of how you have relationships with other people, right? So the more you love yourself, the more likely you are to connect with somebody who also is healthy. Let's keep that in mind. So, it's not just about healing and feeling better, guys. It's about me. Am I as adjusted as I can be? Right? Show me that 9 of Cups, please. It's not to suggest you're not. What I'm saying is that we all think we know what we want. We all think we know what makes us happy, and then we're often proved wrong by the universe. It's like, is that what you thought? You thought that would make you happy? Well, here's some shit. So let's see what you understand makes you happy. Does that need to be adjusted? Are you on course? Have you learned some things? What's going on? Show me that 9 of Cups, please. Tis what we were discussing. The Knight of Swords. We need to adjust our picture. You need to adjust your picture, and I do believe you're in that process. Remember I told you, Aquarius, I'm glad you're having fun. I'm glad you're feeling better. But I need you to stop occasionally and ask yourself a question why you keep connecting with the same people. That's exactly what you're doing. Good. Bravo. Yay. 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Like I said, there's no pretty way to address that. You got both of them here on your 9 of Cups. You always understood or took for granted that you understood what would make you happy. This is not correct. You always kind of acted through it. These are my wishes, my wants, and I understand it, and I know it, and I don't question it. Now you're starting to question it. Self-sabotaging behaviors. Why do I keep finding myself with the same person or situation over and over again? That's self-sabotage. The thing is now you're looking at it. Why did I always kind of allow myself to get out of these thoughts? How come I've never really addressed it before? Well, there's no time like the present. I can't say what this particular situation is making you think about it now, saying as opposed to 10 years ago when you first started experiencing it. I couldn't tell you. It's just whatever reason you're doing it now, and that's all that matters is now. Okay? Sometimes we can't learn things until how many years down the road. Sometimes somebody needs one lesson, sometimes somebody needs 5 or 10 of them. Okay? The point is that you are addressing these things now. The stuff that you always assumed made you happy, or is your desirous relationship, or one that fits you best. This is what makes me happy. This is so convinced that you know it would make you happy. You were lying to yourself at one point. Being hurt over and over again cannot possibly make you happy. Telling yourself, I love this situation or person over and over again when they clearly don't feel the same does not make you happy. So now we're looking at it. Good. Very good. And thus creating the states of change in your environment. The Wheel of Fortune. Yes. Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. What's going on? Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Five of Wands, 3 of Swords, the 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's been hard. I know. We've been fighting and resisting this for a minute. Oh my goodness, with that Three of Swords and the pain and how much it hurts. Really avoiding over time how much this has taken a toll on you. The burden and the laborship, the difficulty of it all. How intensive it has been. Yeah, this kind of change, honey, this kind of insight that's overdue is going to be hard. It's rough. It's rough. It's requiring you to change. It's requiring to see yourself differently. It's requiring to see yourself in your environment differently. It's requiring you to make sacrifices in your environment so you don't keep exposing yourself to the same concepts and people over and over again. It's going to require you to understand that you carrying pain and frustration and fighting for the same thing over and over again just got you the same results. Okay. It is a little overdue, I grant you. But saying this is it and only this is for me, or that person and only that person is for me, this has caused us more harm than good. Waiting, doing like this forever has caused us more harm than good. Connecting to the same situation over and over again has caused us more harm than good. And now we're having a serious, hard, ass-kicking lesson about, okay, why does this keep happening? So we're looking at cycles so we don't keep repeating it in the future. It's going to take a toll in that it will not be a fun experience. There will be hard lessons in here, and the only reason that they're hard, or this hard at this point, is because they are so overdue. Which also means, the silver lining to that is that, well, once you learn that, you're not going to unlearn it. So, it's never too late. That's a lot. And I'm sorry that you have so much discord around you in your heart and in your spirit. There's something in here that says I'm used to having my way, but just not in matters of the heart. I know, especially if you're in that position where you're used to having your way and your energy, you've always kind of just been able to maneuver through life and get things fairly well done or accommodated. But when it comes to matters of the heart, and you're convinced something or a person is for you and they're clearly not, and you find yourself in that situation over and over again. So you might be that Aquarius who generally more often than not gets what they want, except for this, and that means that's why it's hurting you and so hard, because it's really forcing you to look at things you always assumed were true, or you kept telling yourself were true. If I can get what I want, generally speaking, out of life, except this, no, I just got to keep sticking to it. It's mine. I know it's mine. Because I cannot fathom the buildup of this particular energy getting to where it's gotten. Unless it's like one of the last things that's ever really confronted you. Or one of the biggest things that's ever really confronted you. Because typically, I see, energetically speaking, you kind of move through life on your terms. Can't say I'm surprised, you're Aquarius. You know? But this, through matters of the heart, you don't get to move through on your own terms. Not so much. Not very well. And not successfully. It's not the emotional equilibrium that you want. And what do I say all the time, guys? We are the common denominators in repeating problems. You know? So yeah, no. And your instinct to avoid anything with too much depth right now is absolutely correct. I don't want you to. So anyone who's cross-watching and you're very upset with that, don't know what to tell you. This Aquarius isn't ready. They're not ready. You got, honey, you got stuff to sort out. And I am so sorry that you have been so grievously disappointed and made to wait. It is also in that insistence that I know what's right for me. I know who I love. Yeah, you knew who you loved. But that is no guarantee you were getting it in return. And just waiting for them to show the same level, all it did was hurt you. So I am sympathetic, especially if this has happened to you more than once, or it happened over and over again with the same fucking person, regardless. You saying, I know this is right for me and I don't want to change, is exactly what's caused all this pain. Okay. So no, you feeling a little happier and freer in your 3D, that makes me happy. That tells me you're recovering. So you'll still have a lot of work to do, especially if you have a long-term vision of happiness. Because you're slowly plotting your way towards it. And I want you to be more prepared for it than not. Page of Wands to open up again. Hopes and fears. Do I dare open up? Will I ever open up again? Will I ever be curious again? Yeah, you are. At the level of energy that you have, absolutely. You have a natural curious streak in you. You have a natural creative streak in you. I see it. It's here many, many times. I also have a tendency, I think that you have a tendency to show big love for someone who doesn't deserve it, but you insist that they're yours or they're for you, or you tend to fall in love with the wrong people and it still ends up the same damn way. You know. Show me that Page of Wands, please. Show me that Page of Wands. I'm not here to bitch about who did what to who and how they hurt you. You've already know that. You've been living it. What are we going to do about it? That's the question. Page of Wands, please. Strength, the Tower, the Eight of Swords. Yes, it will take strength to open up and look at the very things we've been avoiding, the whole thing we've been talking about, specifically for probably the last 10 minutes or so. Yep. That's what we've been talking about. It's going to take strength to overcome this tower and stop being blind to what we need to transform so you can open up if you really want to believe in love, everlasting, and support and all this other stuff. You're going to have to challenge yourself to be so bold, to be so brave as to look at our particular towers. Why do we keep repeating the same thing? The tower is either a welcoming agent for those who need change or something you fear if we don't want to see it. Do you want to see these things? Or are you not ready? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. I'm saying there's what you want and there's what you achieved, and they're two different things. I just have that impression, honey, you're that Aquarius who's very rarely challenged. People have a tendency to take your energy for its word or its worth, and I don't think many people get in your way because you by far are your biggest opposition. I don't think you get too much challenge from other people. I really don't. I feel your biggest opposition is you. And if you don't want to see something, you won't. And if you don't want to make change, you won't. Because it's just weird, the way you move. So uninhibited. And the only time I see you get hung up is you. Attaching yourself to the wrong people, places, situations, or the wrong feelings to the wrong people. And then you're telling yourself, that's not a problem, I know what I want. That's the problem, man. We say, I know what I want, I know what I want, I know what I want. Then how come you ended up with pain, pain, pain? Because you know what you want, or because you're convinced you know what you want? Two different things. So yeah, you will have to be so brave and so bold as to overcome everything you don't want to see. And that's when you can open up. So when I say we still have more healing to do, Four of Swords is the outcome, that's exactly what that means. Oh boy, this one will be as about as popular as a bucket full of ants. But tarot's not a popularity contest. That's fine. This one's going to get lots of thumbs down. Show me that Four of Swords, please. Yeah, there's more healing to do. A lot more. Show me that Four of Swords, please. Heal, heal, heal. I'm glad you're feeling better. But you got work to do. The Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot, you can and will find your way. I told you, no matter how slow you were plotting in that particular direction, you are headed in that direction. You need more time. You need time to heal the particular background noise of your own convictions. You need time to heal your own particular experiences and consolidate them to the present. This is what I always said was true, but this is where I'm actually at. How come they don't add up, right? We need to take a look at these fundamentals. We need to take a look at this absolute conviction that we're right and that we're not wrong. Then how come you feel so bad? How come you feel so disappointed? Is it because of them, Or is it because of me, 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 me? I'm looking at you convinced that I'm in love with you, and I need you to give it, because I know I have feelings for you, so I'm going to go like this. And for the Aquarius I'm looking at, that has not served you at all. This conviction that I'm right and I know I'm right has not served you. I'm telling you. I know you. You are someone who is not challenged. You're just not. I think you get a lot of what you want in every day. I think you're someone who has that natural light energy where a lot of people agree with you more often than not, but there's this one area of your life where your only challenge is you and what you are convinced of. And that's what you're going to have to overcome to get what you want. I mean, really want. Not what you've convinced yourself you really want. And then the outcome is movement at last. It's going to take a lot more healing, a lot more insight, and a lot more willingness to move forward and make positive changes. So your heart space, the Chariot, when it can move, it's at its most sincere and it's at its boldest self, without hesitation or any stopping and having to convince yourself to wait for someone else to prove your feelings. I don't want to hear about they promised me, or I just felt I had to wait some more. I knew they were right. I knew they were right. They're my this, they're my that. As far as I can tell, they're a whole lot of nothing to you. Because if they actually loved the same way you did, or they felt that they would fucking be here, and none of this mess would be here. So I don't want to hear about, but they said this or they said that, so otherwise I wouldn't have done this. No, you have free will. And the Aquarius I'm looking at said, I'm exhausted, and I'm trying to feel better. I'm just at the early stages of it. I'm learning to let this go, but I still have a lot of learning to do. So that way I don't repeat this shit again. And you're going to be your biggest teacher in this. Because I don't see you consulting anybody. So if this is a ride you're going to take on your own, you're going to have to be your biggest teacher. That means a willingness to look at the things that you don't want to look at. If it means you're not repeating it again, it's worth it. There's that movement finally in the right direction. And that's on the premise of a hell of a lot more healing. I hope that you get there. I do. I'm rooting for you, honey. I want what's best for everyone, not what's worst. Think I want to see that hot little mess for you? Fuck no. I do not. I want everyone to get to where they need to be. And we can't have that motivation of new, guys. You know, if I only had new love, I would know what to do. No, you would still have the same running background bullshit influencing you. If I only had that new opportunity, I would be free. No, other shit would still tag along with you. It's not how it works. Everything begins with the self. You want that 10 of Cups. You want the emotionality, you want the support, you want the balance, okay? You want life, love, and the pursuit of its whole. You have to do those things for yourself first. Everything comes from within. And then once you start to change that, your outside world reflects of the work that you've done. It's the law of attraction 101. Okay. Reveal. Yeah, this is what we were talking about, guys. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. Okay? This is an internal system, not an external. Reveal what needs to be seen within you. Okay? It's the stuff that's really hard to look at. I know. I'm not telling you this because I think it's so easy. I'm telling you this because I know how hard it is. It's not fun. But it has your best payout for future. I have a really strong feeling that I am looking at Aquarius today. Very few people get in your way. Very few. Which, of course, means you're your worst opponent or your biggest opponent. I put really good money on that. And I don't play with money. I don't play with money. No. No, I don't. I put damn good money on that. I know, honey. I know how you are. You have a very fiercely independent mind. Oh, yes, you do. Aquarius is famous for this. And very few people are privy to your inner world. Trust all will be well. I've seen that. But that means you have to be more willing to heal and attend to the details. You still have life to live in the interim. Never neglect the details of your life while you're out there doing whatever it is that you do. But I want you to get into that space, because once it's time to move in a positive direction, once that Wheel of Fortune, excuse me, I'm tired of my lisp is kicking in. Once you do decide to move forward in that positive direction, step by firm step, the Wheel of Fortune will begin to spin in your favor the way you want it to. I don't know, but when your heart picks up speed, it will pick up speed. And it looks like this time the right direction. Okay, that's it. I will see you for the Sunday Shuffle, and then your next long message will be in approximately 2 weeks. Aquarius, I hope this helps. Like I said, put it in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.